Hello everyone, I hope you all are doing well. So, in this particular video, I will talk about what are the most important tips that you need to take care of whenever you are going for an interview. So, hi, I'm Priya Bhatia and I'm currently working as a data scientist. Prior to that, I have completed my master's in AI from IIT Hyderabad. So, when I was pursuing my master's in IIT Hyderabad, I got a chance to, give the interviews to so many product based companies, bigger companies, startups everywhere. And afterwards, now I am taking the interviews also in the company where I am working on. So I have felt that there is a huge need to understand majorly 5 important tips which I want that at least my audience will be aware of. The tip number 1, be honest. Whenever you are going for any kind of an interview, I don't care that whether it's a technical interview or whether it's a non-technical interview. What I have observed is that people usually feel that if they will cheat, just like if someone is asking you the question, and nowadays we usually have our interviews virtually. So what they usually feel is that they will cheat and interviewer will not able to get an idea, and that's something where you are automatically troubling yourself. There is a very high chance that interviewer will realize this thing and automatically you will not be able to select to the next upcoming rounds. Be honest with your skill set. Whatever you know, clearly say that these are the expertise which I have, these are the stuffs which I don't know. Any interviewer will not be here to deselect you. They really want you to hire, but if you will show these kind of gestures, cheating, then no one will help you out, right? So please try to be honest, because from the past few weeks, what I have been observing as per my experience when I was taking the interviews, I felt few candidates are there who are doing this kind of thing. Whenever I was asking the question, they're just tapping, seeing somewhere and then writing the code. They don't even know what that code is doing. So obviously interviewer will get to know that you are cheating from somewhere, right? You can open your screen, that's fine. But if you are not able to understand what you are writing, then why you are writing? Just say to the interviewer that you don't know, right? It's okay to not know something rather than doing a cheating and then coming up with a solution. Tip number 1, right? Second important tip is talk about your genuine interest or your skill set in whatever position you are applying for. What's the motivation behind doing that? Why you really want to do that particular thing, whether you are applying for some position of data scientist, software engineering, or maybe a mentoring of maybe some domain, whether it be Java, DSA, or any other domain, whatever you think of. So what I'm saying is, why should be the motivation factor for you, and if you are good in why, then obviously you will dictate that as well to the other person. So if you are genuinely interested in that particular position, explain to them why is that so, why there is so much interest in that position. Explain about the research that you did with respect to that company before coming to the interview, right? These things will help the interviewer to know that, okay, this person is so much interested in this particular position and I should at least give him or her one chance to, go ahead. So this is the tip number 2. Show genuine interest in your skill set. Talk about the skill set that you have. Talk about your strengths and why is something which is the motivating factor for you, right? The motivation is why you are doing this stuff. What's the real need behind that? Tip number 3. Listen the problem very carefully. I have seen from past few weeks when I was taking the interviews and I was giving to the interviewee any problem, they are like instantly they want to jump to the solution. Please try to listen to the problem statement first. What the interviewer wants to convey, what's the kind of result they really want to have, right? Then try to explain your approaches. They are not in a hurry, even you are also not in a hurry whenever you're coming up in an interview. I hope so. So please try to listen the sentence, whatever he or she is saying, whatever your interviewer is saying, very patiently, very, consciously, whatever words she is referring to or he is referring to, right? Then think about the approach. Take a pause, take maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes of time. You can tell to them that, okay, give me some amount of time and then I will come up with some approach. What I have observed is, even my question is not completed and they are like, let me give you the solution, and obviously that solution will be incorrect. Then again I have to repeat that question again and again, and this usually makes the interviewer irritable. So the positive impression will not be there, right? Irritation will happen automatically. You only observe that if suppose someone will tell to you that repeat the statements again and again and again, then obviously after some point of time you will be like that, what's happening? He or she might don't know, even though you know the stuffs, but due to lack of you're not able to listen the things carefully. Please try to make sure that whenever you are going for an interview, listen very carefully what other person is saying, right? Then take a pause and then talk about the approaches that you have. Even though you know the answer, take a pause, write it down somewhere, and then step by step try to talk about each and every solution that you have in your head. And then maybe a counter question will come. Again, whenever you think like that you will not able to have any as such answer, take a pause, think over it. If you know it, talk about that. If you don't know it, say it that I am not sure about this, right? There's nothing harm in saying no, right? Fourth important thing, don't say random stuffs. Again, I'm repeating this thing, I believe. If suppose interviewer is asking something to you, first of all, I usually say that whenever you are preparing your resume itself, don't write false skills. Don't write false projects. If you don't know or you don't have any idea about that project, why you are writing first of all? Even though your resume is getting shortlisted, for that purpose you have written, in your interviews you will get failed, right? You will not able to explain to them very clearly about that project. So what's the purpose? Write only the true information, whatever you have done. Apart from this, now whenever you're going for an interview, if suppose there is some concept you won't be able to remember or you're not aware of, tell them very clearly, right? If you'll keep on saying something, again this will be the irritation point for the interviewer, and he or she will stop at that point of time by saying thank you. So if you don't want these kind of things to happen to you, please make sure that listen, and then you can clearly say that I have done this task maybe a few years ago, but I'm not sure about this right now, or I'm not able to recall that, right? It's important to be honest at every stage of your life. If you are not honest with your work, with your interviews, then obviously you will not able to crack it. The last important point is that there are so many people who used to come to the interview, but because nowadays it's a virtual one, they usually don't open their camera. Please open your camera, greet with a smile, right? And after that, whenever you are starting introducing yourself, you can also always show a sense of gratitude that thank you for giving me this kind of opportunity. And then you can maybe start introducing yourself. And at the very end of your interview, please ask for the feedbacks. See, whether the interview you will be able to crack that or not doesn't really matter in the long run, because if one company is not selecting you, if you will keep on looking for the companies, obviously there will be some other company where you will get shortlisted and you will be able to crack that is for sure, if you will keep on consistently doing the hard work. But with respect to every interview, whatever interviews you're giving in your life, it's a chance to explore yourself. It's a chance to learn from the mistakes that you are doing from the interviews. So whenever you are going for any interview, at the very end, you can ask from your interviewer that, can you tell me what's the feedback you want to give, or what's the things that you really want me to improve on. I'm not sure that whether I have done really well or not, but I really want to improvise myself. I really want to become the better version of myself. So which things you feel in the last 30 minutes or the 1 hour that you have spent with me, I should work on in my tech side or the non-tech side. again, this attitude will give a positive opinion also, right? And this is what I'm not saying that to show someone that, okay, you are interested in improving yourself, but apart from this, you should have genuine interest about improvement of yours, right? That's the first thing. But apart from this, what I'm saying is, other person will also feel that, okay, this person is having this kind of attitude of learning from the mistakes. And that's what makes you unique from the other people, right? If there is someone who is very stubborn, who is like, I am the one, I have all the skill set, who is the one who will not able to select me, right? This kind of attitude will not work in long run. You have to be very calm, down to earth. This kind of attitude will always work in, long run. The more you will be close to your, the more you will be down to earth, you will be able to tackle all the situations very easily, because you are like the way that I'm the one who can do mistakes. I'm the one who really want to improvise on a daily basis. I'm the one who really want to become the better version of myself. I don't care, and I don't have any competition with respect to other people. What I want to compete is with myself. In this way, in this attitude, in this way, you will be able to observe. There are several changes you will be able to observe after giving a lot of interviews. Because after giving every interview, it doesn't matter whether you are selected or not, you are learning from that. And you are learning from a lot of expertise, you are learning from your mistakes. Even in the company, you can ask for the feedbacks, right? And you can try to improvise on that feedbacks. Just for asking the feedbacks will also not work, right? You have to take the credibility of that. Everyone does mistakes. It's okay, it's completely fine. But if you're not improving on that part, that's completely wrong, right? That's where you are doing the wrong thing. So that's what I really want to talk about in these sessions. We have talked about important 5 tips. I hope that you will be able to get an idea. The very first tip is be honest. Second tip is talk about your genuine interest. Third tip is listen the problem very carefully before answering to them. Fourth tip is don't say any sort of random stuffs. If you don't know something, directly say that I'm not having awareness about this concept, but yeah, after the session I will look into this. And the last tip is greet with smile, open your webcam, and at the very end ask the feedbacks. That's the overall tip which I really want to give you all. This is what I really feel from my experience of giving the interviews and taking the interviews. And I hope that this will help you all, and all the very best for your next interviews.